Hello everyone, my name is Cree, and today we're going to be taking a dive into Rage of the Abyss, the newest TCG expansion set that's hitting shelves October 4th at the premiere event at your local OTS store, and then 1 week later at every other big box retailer. Now that we know what the set list is going to be like for the full set list of the OCG and the fact that they've had time to play, I think now would be a good time to just take a look at what's going to be in the set, because obviously we're not going to know about TCG exclusives until the full set breakdown. We also do not have confirmed rarities. However, just based on what's been successful in OCG, we see what's going to translate. There are some things that are not seeing play in the OCG from this set that could translate to anywhere between your local and YCS levels. So, with that being said, there are some new meta threats in this set. First and foremost, we're going to talk about Mermail Atlantean. So, a lot of us here on Team Interstellar are testing what Mermail Atlantean can do, what the limits are of it. In fact, team member Andrew Johnson sent me a replay to use for this video, which is currently being shown right now, where he's using Abyss Pike and the new Atlantean bodyguards to basically just create a crazy board and do a crazy sequence. But this is a deck that carries a lot of nostalgia. A lot of the player base was playing during the Fire Water format of old, so seeing this beloved deck get a massive boost in this set is pretty crazy. Plus, there are some things that OCG has that TCG does not have. For instance, OCG has straight up Max C, whereas TCG does not. We are getting Molcharmi Fuaros in this set. However, this combo, it's still, if it pops off, it pops off. Like, you're hand ripping for 2, you're establishing a Toad, and I believe you established a second Toad as well. Triggering a new link to add the Triana. Shark gets you Virtue Dragon, which gets you the Virtue Stream as another form of interruption, which is obviously insane. You're going to make a second Bahamut Shark here to make a second Toad, triggering the Dragoons to add the Heavy Infantry. Virtue Dragon is going to trigger to add another Atlantean Dragoons, and there you have it. Up next, we have the Azamina. This doesn't see a lot of play as its own standalone deck in the OCG. It is, once again, just Snake Eye fodder. We've already covered this deck on the channel before, so real quick, what you're seeing right now is just, once again, the insanity that is Sinful Soils of Deception, plus any monster card. You're doing this all before your normal summon, so I'm very worried about what the Azamina is going to do for the game, because before you even normal summon, thanks to the Fiendsmith engine, you're going to be able to have access to an Omni Negate on top of an Apollousa, and then you're going to have a level 1 fire monster in your hand thanks to original Sinful Spoils, which realistically is 9 times out of 10 going to be Snake Eye Ash. If you want to be spicy with it though, you could play Rescue Ace Hydrant here. However, the choice is yours, and Azamina is gonna be wild for the game. We're gonna look at the more splashable things here. So first and foremost, the one card that I am going to go out of my way to obtain from this set is going to be Molcharmi Fuaros. It is Maxi at home. It's a main deck staple already in the OCG. There's like, it's seeing an absurd amount of usage for very good reason. It is Maxi except restricted straight up to the main and extra deck. This is going to be a card that is mandatory for competitive play during the Rage of the season. I would not slack on getting a playset of this card if you plan on playing during this season. Up next is Lacrima, the Scarlet Sorrow. This card is insane. She makes Closed Heaven the full Fiendsmith combo, because you just go Closed Heaven, link her off into Requiem, Requiem tribute itself, summon Lacrima, and then Lacrima is going to dump Fiendsmith Engraver, and there you go, you got your full sequence right there. And the fact that the Fiendsmith engine is brand new to the TCG, it's going to be here to stay for a while. If anything, it might get hampered a little bit with a banning of, say, Apollousa or Beatrice or DDD Wave High King Caesar. Even if those things happen, this engine is still going to be incredibly powerful, and honestly, it's one of the best splashable engines we've had in the game in a very long time. Up next, Dominus Impulse. This is the other half of Dominus Purge. It's basically the exact same thing, but for the other 3 attributes. Currently, it is actually a staple in Tenpai in the OCG, so the only thing you're going to be losing out on is Fuaros, that we already mentioned, and then, like, Effect Veiler. This thing is insane. Definitely, once again, I personally picked up 3 Dominus Purge from Infinite Forbidden, and I plan on picking up 3 Dominus Impulse from Rage of the Abyss for the exact same reason. If you just have a deck that can use it, you use it. It will be a staple in those decks. Up next, is a card that's not seeing a lot of play. It's going to be Final Bringer's Bellow. This is a card that I'm personally eyeing myself. I think it's going to be a sleeper pick. Hopefully it gets the Vesper Gear Suit treatment and just ends up as a random common. If this thing is a secret rare or even a super rare, it might get blown out of proportion. However, even though it doesn't see play in the OCG, just reading the text makes me think that this has a lot of potential future utility. I'm picking them up because all it says is target a monster you control and a card your opponent controls, destroy them. Up next, we're looking at the less splashable cards, specifically End Exalting Morganite. This is a boost to Runic Stun specifically, and just other stun decks that want to have access to Time Tearing Morganite because it searches it. For the honorable mentions, I want to talk about Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, just because it gives dragons a negate again, and Enhanced Metalmorph isn't like a terrible card. The Metalmorph stuff is really cool. It tugs at my nostalgia heartstrings because I am older than I seem, I guess. And then, of course, Centurion Similia. It's a bonfire search target, and it's basically Phantom Eval for Centurion. And then you have Primera Primus. I am surprised it took this long for Primera to get her own synchro, but hey, here we are. The fact that it's a level 8 is pretty cool. And it also searches another Emblema card. And it can recur itself from the graveyard. So it doesn't place itself in the spell and trap card zone, which is odd, but okay. But it does just grant you another level 8 body, and the fact that she is also a tuner is probably going to come up. I'm not as well versed in Centurion as some other players on the team are, so I'm sure you can check that out later on. The last card I want to talk about today is going to be Imperial Dragon, the Primordial Dragon. This thing, it saw some experimental play in the OCG. It caused some very, very funny vanilla buyouts over there. Just the fact that it could be a really, really funny anti-meta pick. Is this something you should pick up? Maybe. It's probably higher on my priority list than Black Metal Dragon, but not as high as the other cards I was talking about. With that being said, Rage of the Abyss is definitely going to make a splash here in the TCG meta. You got Mermails coming into full play. You got the Azamina engine coming into full play. You got Lacrima coming out, which is going to make the Fiendsmith engine even more powerful. Believe it or not, that is possible. It's going to be even more powerful. And we got our own mini-max C. So, with that being said, y'all, please like the video if you found today's content helpful at all. Subscribe if you have not already to become a creamer. Subscribe to Team Interstellar on YouTube, as we are on the road to 1,000 subs over there as well. Comment down below what your personal picks are going to be for Rage of the Abyss. And, as always, until next time, have a good time.